Hey, what's up, guys? This is Kay from Lunarlight Games, and thanks for dropping back in. Hello, and welcome to our channel. If you're new, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Help us keep growing our channel. Let's go ahead and get settled back in. I'm afraid I won't be able to do a very long stream this session. At the most, we'll probably go until maybe 11:30. 11:30 during this stream will probably be around 2 hours and 15 minutes. Well, that's alright. I think that's plenty of time. We shall go as long as we can, and then we'll head off. Alright, let me go... Actually, no. Let me hold off on gathering these. We'll be back. Let us... Yeah, let's go handle this stuff. We'll come back to this.
Visitor.
Do. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Thursday. It is nearly the weekend. Almost time for the weekend. Almost time to relax, chill. We just gotta push through just one more day. Oh man. I haven't really had any time to jump on today, so earlier I did a short segment of Resident Evil 4. I was just looking through my list and figuring out what can we play here that isn't going to take a whole lot of time to do.
Must be something here. Let's look around.
My, what is here?
I'm not sure I want to meet the thing that finds quillback innards appetizing.
I think when you're supposed to tackle this section is way earlier in the game. That's why they're making a big deal out of the dragon. Because if you're like me and you like exploring, you will have likely already killed a lot of dragons. And because of that, we've already seen the worst the game has to throw at us. In that instance, it makes this section kind of strange. We've already killed like 9 dragons and you're telling me, oh, this giant monster, it's deadly and dangerous. You don't say. Oh, never mind. We've already used this one. Let's continue looking for more dragon signs. This question affects the difficulty of the next dragon fight. Don't you just love it when you're over-leveled for a particular gameplay segment? These fights are so trivial. Gentlemen, leave the wardens to their work. Concentrate efforts on the dragon. Somehow, I don't think they got the memo. That's another one completed. Which one of these is related to Here Lies the Abyss? It's probably just this thing then. Never mind. We'll come back to that later. Depending on how things go tonight, I don't know if we'll ever get to Here Lies the Abyss. It's a rather lengthy story segment. And my clock is still running down. Yeah, we only have around 2 hours of gameplay to get through tonight. Maybe, just maybe, I'll try to get some more in the morning. I don't think I have anything planned for tomorrow morning. In that case, we should be ready to go sometime tomorrow morning. Or if not, I'll get on a different game. But starting around the 9th and beyond of next month, my schedule should be changing. Because I got a couple days scheduled for work. But that's only around the 9th and the 10th. Beyond that, who knows what things are going to look like. Warden Zors, commander of the defense of Adamant Fortress during the long night of the Second Blight, gave his life in battle against the Herlock Alpha. Herlocks, in case you missed out on some of the codex entries, are the human darkspawn. Darkspawn come in different flavors. Genlocks are supposed to be dwarven. Yeah, they're dwarven darkspawn. Herlocks are human darkspawn. Ogres, for sure, I know are Qunari darkspawn, but I forget what exactly are the elven ones supposed to be. I forgot their names. It'll probably come back to me some other time. I don't think we faced off against an ogre yet. But Herlocks and Genlocks, for sure, we've fought them before. Can I please get up here? No. Dang it. I'm gonna have to find another way back up. All the while, we have to keep fighting these random enemies. They're not that big of an issue, but they're still rather annoying. Maybe I can get up here. How did I do this last time? There should be some way for us to, like, jump up and around this. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. That is another shard for the collection. And how did we miss this one? You know what? I'm just gonna swing by over here. It's easier to backtrack from this angle than it is to find a way back up. Now, if these shard collections were useless, I don't think I would do them. But it's in your best interest to get them done. It's one of the few ways you can get some extra buffs on your character. And they're permanent, too. Who doesn't want permanent buffs? They're not really stat buffs, but they are resistance buffs. Something to keep in mind. I suppose on the plus side, you guys can enjoy and admire the scenery. This is also probably one of the other pluses on YouTube's side of streaming. The bitrate's just slightly more steady on my side than it is on Twitch. And here's the next camp. By the way, this thing out off in the distance, that fortress, I forget if it's that building or another one that's inaccessible. Oh, is that so? That sounds like the story of every game released nowadays. Gone are the days where you'll get a game that's highly polished. It's kind of sad to me because games have gotten way, way complicated than they used to be. And thus, with the complications means it's harder to fix. I think we can get up here if we use a horse. As someone who's tried to write computer code and then try to iron out the bugs in case you wrote the code wrong, a lot can go wrong if you screw up your computer code. Especially when unforeseen things happen. The bigger the project, the more likelihood that things are going to go wrong. And mind you, when you're writing code for like a game, it's not just yourself doing it, you're typically working as part of a team. So not only are you having to work on your own code, you have to hope that it interacts correctly with someone else's code. There we go. That's how we get up here. Nah, come on. Maybe there's a ladder. Let me have a look around. Well, I don't know how accurate those claims are, but hooray, I suppose. Then again, writing and, like, programming is like two different departments. There we go. Got the brandy. Also, it tastes like brandy. Sounds like someone here doesn't like brandy. Well, just as a general observation, writing the script and writing the game is completely separate to those who are doing the programming and QA bug fixing. Just something to consider. Alright. Moving on. I wish I'd kept my old assignment from way back when I was in computer programming. One of my TAs actually printed out the source code for Doom. And it was only a couple pages too. The stairway is extremely old and weathered. Its boards bear subtle gouges where clawed feet have tread. There are no indications of who built it or for what purpose. Let's continue heading down. Maybe there's something interesting to be found down here. Of course. Got the mosaic piece over there. That spot of land over there. What happened over here? That reminds me, I still need to finish Assassin's Creed 2. For the channel, I mean. And also 4. In other news, I saw some new stuff concerning Diablo 4 and its gameplay changes. They're changing it even more drastically once the following expansion comes out. It's got me concerned whether I should be playing the game this season or not. Because once that new expansion comes out, things are going to change quite a bit. I don't know whether to say for the better or worse because, again, I have not played it. For instance, the level cap is being, I don't know. I want to say nerfed, but in other ways, I guess from the player's perspective, it could be a buff. Because the level limit is being reduced. It's no longer 100. They're going to reduce the level cap down to 60, like in Diablo 3. In addition, they're also expanding the way in which you can level with some of our previous journeys. Whenever we wanted to level up a glyph over and over again, stacking XP in order for it to level up. The greater rifts, where if you run through the pit, guaranteed chance, 100% chance, or scaling down if you're like over leveled. I don't really know. I guess they're trying to change it so that future seasons, the campfire chat and see what they're actually trying to do. Warden Commander Tesoro, slayer of over 100 Genlocks, gave her life in defense of the Abyssal Rift at the start of the long night of the Second Blight. They're also getting rid of sacred equipment as well, and trying to buff up ancestral equipment. Can we go? No. We cannot explore this section yet. This right here is off limits. I think this section is story related. Well, we can't enter that area yet. Let's work our way up north. But yeah, there are lots of changes coming to Diablo 4. Oh, wait a minute, that was a phoenix. We now have all the ingredients. Let me continue heading up north before we backtrack. Why are you alone, dude? What happened to your friends? My hope, though, for Diablo 4 is that they turn it into something that's fun, but yet something that's not a complete grind to play. Right now, it absolutely feels like work whenever I try to get on and play it. Alright, we can still explore this area. And that's what we needed to do.
It's no use! We can't cross here!
Someone at Skyhold will have a solution.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They'll make people angry. There's nothing they can do about that since The current iteration of the game is already kind of terrible if you're like a casual player. Engraved on this gate are symbols of Andoril, old god of slavery.
That's the
We
grandmother
cannot go
of
in
all
there.
locks. We're not getting in here.
This thing may be a phoenix in name, but it goes down like a big old chicken. But yeah, I think those changes are set to release when the new expansion comes out. Sometime in October. Oh, is he? How's he enjoying the game?
We should
Yep.
turn back.
Can't cross that area either. Oh wait, we can capture this keep. Hang on, let me see if there's any agents here we can recruit before we tackle the keep. Don't want to do something like we did last time and went ahead and conquered the keep only to return and find out, oh, that screwed up with your recruitment. Alright, the western approach. What agents can be found here? Frederick. Well, no worries about that. In order to recruit Frederick, we have to kill the dragon. Let's go over here and capture the keep. I think there are only 3 main keeps in this game. They're just simple dungeon crawls. Nothing special. Also, if you keep the splinters from the door, I think you can use that for something later. They're off limits.
Shall we knock?
It will be my pleasure.
Make sure you loot this thing. Grab the splinters. Is it 3 or 4? I can't remember. I definitely remember like 2 of these keeps. But yeah, if he likes it, more power to him. I've enjoyed my time playing the game, but currently, as the seasons are designed, I'm not having the most fun time. And I've still yet to go back to Diablo 3's latest season. Ah, come on. What is going on over here? Nothing? No collectibles? Well, there is one thing. But yeah, as it stands, trying to juggle the seasons and all of its requirements in addition to playing all these other games for the channel, makes it very tricky. It's either we focus all of our time and energy on one game, or we can spread it out onto multiple games. Is it in Diablo 4? Because Diablo 4 is always online. If your connection is not stable, you will lag in the game.
Venatori! Beat them! Prepare them!
Granted, Diablo's always been like a always online game. The only difference between Diablo 3 is that it got released on PS3's PS3, PS4, I think 360, Switch. I don't know if it got released on Wii U or not. Because it was all on those other systems, they had to change the game and turn it offline for console users. I think if you were to go back to the original PC release, it was always online. Yeah, we lucked out. Hey, what's up, Mr. Critical? Thanks for dropping back in. But yeah, because, well,
How long can they keep this up?
consoles got better at staying connected to the internet. That's why you saw changes to the gameplay and the game design. Otherwise, I think if you couldn't connect at all to the internet with a PS5, they would just keep it always offline. I think that's the reasoning anyway. But man, back during the PS3 day, you don't know. During those days, you don't know how many people didn't really go online. Like, it was practically unheard of to go online with your console, unless you were playing like on an Xbox and going through Xbox Live. We collected everything here. Let's move on to the next step. Back during the PS3 days, we didn't even have to pay for online.
I am ready.
It was just generally accepted that everyone would have online access if they wanted it.
Light is nothing. He will reign.
What are they babbling about?
I join your glory.
And there we go.
It's a solid fortress. Inquisition could make use of
Kitty's color. How come I don't remember ever using this one? Yeah, I agree. If online gaming is not your thing, there's very little point in having it. I guess so. Alright, with this one, how are we looking to do it? This one shouldn't be that complicated. This is the center. Oh. I think I see what I did wrong. Let me reset this. Maybe if I were to go like this. No, that ain't right. This should be right. Or is it not? Heck. Never mind, I did that wrong. Sorry guys, whenever there's someone entering or leaving the chat, there's always like a black bar at the bottom right and it blocks the constellation. I can't see it. I'm missing something here. I think some of the items were deliberately placed there as a sort of challenge. Like a challenge item. There we go. Toth. It also directly corresponds to the ancient Tevinter old god known as Toth, the dragon of fire. Somewhere off in the distance is another two of these. There's that one. But as I was saying, some of the items in this game were introduced like later after the release of the game. They're almost like free DLC items. And they were put there to add like a bit of an Easter egg and also as a gameplay challenge modifier. Like, I know for certain that sigils were new.
Inquisitor, you're early. We've barely been set up a week. I have a patrol out at the moment. Some of the men sighted darkspawn in the area. The Venatori have retreated, but scouts haven't pinpointed where they've gone yet. We're reasonably well entrenched here, but the keep's water supply has been problematic. It's causing delays. I'll prepare the troops for inspection at once.
Funny. I could have sworn I just claimed this place just 5 minutes ago. No, it's no problem. That would probably happen anyway.
We haven't met, have we? What's your name, soldier? Where have you served?
I beg your pardon, Inquisitor. Knight Captain Rylan at your service. I served with the Templars in Starkhaven until they all ran off to the hills, barking at the moon. Commander Cullen offered me a job, and I was glad to do anything to help stop all this madness.
Especially as viewers come and go, I'll always get like a black text box at the very bottom right saying who's watching and who's not. I think there's another way to like move that box as well, but I prefer having it at the bottom right. That way I don't have to like shift my gaze all the way up to the top left or something. My gaze is always at the bottom half of the screen anyway.
How is the Inquisition treating you so far, Captain?
It's good work. Some of it's a touch batty. But I'm always glad to be doing something useful, Inquisitor. There's no shortage of things that need repaired, shored up, or just a good bucket of water dumped on them.
If you were in Starkhaven, how do you know Cullen?
After Kirkwall exploded, Starkhaven sent aid. Rubble fell on much of the city. A lot of people were homeless or trapped in collapsed buildings. I coordinated rescue efforts, and met Cullen while he was trying to command what was left of Kirkwall's Templars.
You didn't want to leave the Chantry with the others of your order?
Sacred duties are all well and good, but someone needs to do real work now and then. If the barracks are on fire, I'm going for water, not standing around smiting the ash for heresy. Ah, respectfully speaking, of course, Inquisitor.
Carry on, Captain.
Yes, Inquisitor. Inquisitor.
We haven't met, have we? What's your name, soldier? Where have you served?
I beg your pardon, Inquisitor. Knight Captain Rylan at your service. I served with the Templars in Starkhaven until they all ran off to the hills, barking at the moon. Commander Cullen offered me a job, and I was glad to do anything to help stop all this madness.
Alright, we just asked them about Cullen, right?
How is the Inquisition treating you so far, Captain?
It's good work. Some of it's a touch batty. But I'm always glad to be doing something useful, Inquisitor. There's no shortage of things that need repaired.
Wait, we just listened to all this.
Just a good bucket of water dumped on them.
Okay, never mind. Let me,
Carry on, Captain.
Yes, Inquisitor. Inquisitor.
I wish the game would mark some of these as already, listened to and then leave the other ones that we haven't checked out still on the screen. Because now if I want to listen to the other ones, I have to go through all that again. Never mind. I guess we're not going to do anything with them.
Report, Captain. What's the situation in the western approach?
I've had scouts investigate that Red Lyrium operation you smashed. I don't think anyone's getting into that cave anytime soon.
What can you tell me about the Darkspawn in the area?
The Darkspawn seem to have emerged since we took the keep. I've warned the troops not to engage unless absolutely necessary. We don't need a blight in the ranks. We have to find whatever hole the monsters came from and seal it.
What's wrong with the water supply?
The fort's well is full of garbage. Blasted Venatori threw corpses in there. There's an oasis nearby, but a Vargast claimed it. Doing a decent job of keeping us away, too. 4 soldiers have already fallen to venom and claws. We'll need reinforcements to drive the monster out.
Carry on, Captain.
Yes, Inquisitor.
We have our work we have our work spelled out for us. The Griffin Wing Keep. Prelate. Griffin Wing Keep is a critical part of the Master's plan. You are instructed to hold it against the Inquisition assault to the last man. Yeah, to the last man.
Inquisitor.
The last man just passed. Where the heck is this landmark?
What happened to Marcus?
I'm sorry, were they saying something? This place looks more lively than before.
You had apples yesterday.
Let's go look around.
You don't think this place is haunted, do you? What with mages and all?
It probably is haunted. We just killed a ton of soldiers here. Not to worry about that. Well, let's go clear out the Vargas and we'll move underneath. There's a cave nearby. Wait, what? I thought they were here.
Where do they come from?
We should find out. This is exactly what the Wardens are supposed to prevent.
Can I not?
This can't be the right way.
No, I guess not. Well, we claimed that. But that's not really what I'm after. Tell you what. Let's head back to Skyhold. We're going to do some war table operations. Get rid of that silver field. All right. Oh, and while we're here, let's do some more research. I think I may have mentioned this once before,
Solus made. Very well.
but when you're starting a brand new game, in addition to the difficulty changes, there are some gameplay modifiers you can use as well. I didn't do anything with them. But in order to earn some like DLC trophies, you're forced to use some of them. It's nothing big though. But they provide some replay value if you want to go back and check it all out. Yeah, crap. We have a bunch of new activities to worry about now. Let's start here. Sutherland and his company dealt with a Darkspawn threat. Lord Irrelevant paid no attention to them. I believe he was expecting a larger force he could posture against, not young adventurers. Such a shame to disappoint him. Dagna has forwarded what she learned about Samson's strange armor. Her glee over her discovery is disconcerting, but her information may prove invaluable. We would speak at your earliest convenience, Inquisitor. That we shall. The Griffin Wing outpost has some access to water, but not enough to sustain the number of people there for a significant amount of time. The situation is not desperate, but if we are to maintain a presence in the western approach, the outpost will require access to fresh water. We should locate a reliable source as soon as possible. I feel like this could have been like an in-game side quest rather than being tossed aside to the war table operation. Maybe it was too much work to implement. Well, let's get this done. Who do we want to send out? Or does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. Cullen, you will take the least amount of time. This should be a high priority. A group of soldiers can be sent to locate and secure a water source for the outpost. In most instances where the rewards are all the same, choose whoever is going to take the least amount of time.
All right.
Unless you really care about the dialogue. I don't. Investigate the ancient laboratory. Nightingale. The last Venatori have left the ancient laboratory in the wake of the Inquisitor's attack. We can be sure that secrets have been left behind. Those of the Venatori, the ancient Devinters, or both. We should not allow the desert to bury them. This is a 3-hour mission. Cullen cannot be sent here. Let's see. Anybody remember playing that old Mafia Wars game on Facebook? Back when they used to have like mobile games? Or was that MySpace? I forget which one. This feels exactly like that. It doesn't matter who we send. So, Leliana, we have agents capable of disarming whatever traps and tricks remain and bringing back valuables.
Let's see what we have.
I remember I used to play those kind of games so often with my old friends. Yeah, no, it's crazy, right? We already set up camp, too. Improving morale. Commander, our work continues in the approach. It's a difficult post, but our soldiers are determined to represent the Inquisition as best they can. Morale flags at times, but we manage. That's interesting. Some of the reasons that are included for improving morale is... This one's funny. We can give them better shoes. Yeah, as if better shoes will make our soldiers happier. Cullen, however, wants to provide them a good meal. Y'all have no idea how good a meal can improve your morale if you've been out in the field all day. Trust me. It's the difference between feeling miserable as hell and actually feeling good that you can continue another day. It's why like a cup of noodles tastes amazing whenever you've spent the entire weekend camping. Perhaps. I mean, if you're wearing boots, sand might get into them. And what does Josephine want? We can send the books. I mean, I guess if you have no other way of entertaining yourselves, maybe a book or two will keep everyone refreshed. Sadly, though, we don't have anyone available, so Josephine, we're gonna give them books. They're gonna have them and they're gonna like them.
At your service.
Personally, if I was a soldier out in the desert, a hot meal is a far better improvement than a handful of books or two. But beggars can be choosers. Oh wait. Forget about this one. We have completed initial estimates on the construction of an elevated bridge over the toxic sulfur pits in the western approach. The work will require 10 of our engineers and 6 wagon loads of lumber, but the finished construction will allow troops to move through the region at a safe distance from the poisonous gas. We can send our own forces to build it, or a few words to the Comte of Valfermin, and we can have a bridge built. Yeah, let's not have our own forces do this. We'll use our connections to build that bridge. The Comte of Alferman was only too happy to loan his workmen and materials to protect our project. Or, not. Excuse me, I read that wrong. He was only too happy to loan his workmen and materials to our project. Eventually. The bridge is ready for inspection at your earliest convenience. We're not going to head out yet. Hey, what's up, Storm? Thanks for dropping in, and yes, we are back at it again. I'm trying not to go past midnight. For this session, anyway. Gotta head off early. Well, we'll try to make every minute count. A hot meal is life. When you're on the field all day and you barely have any food on hand, you don't know how amazing it is to have like a hot bowl of chow at the end of the day.
No red lyrium, no allies, and soon Samson will have no armor, I hope.
You hope?
Dagna's started work on her red lyrium samples, but she needs more details on the armor. We found orders in the mine. They mention Maddox, a name I did not expect to hear.
Samson's letter said something about taking over as the vessel.
Perhaps it's a rank among the Red Templars. It could be a title from ancient Tevinter. Or it's some other role Corypheus has planned for Samson, and Maddox is part of it.
Another voice from your past?
In a way, this is complicated. Maddox was a mage in Kirkwall's circle. Samson smuggled letters between him and his sweetheart. Eventually, Samson was caught. That's why he was cast out of the Order. Maddox was made tranquil and became a skilled craftsman of magical items. Samson must have rescued him.
Can't believe they made a man tranquil over a few love letters.
The official charge was corrupting the moral integrity of a Templar. Knight Commander Meredith wielded the brand for far lesser offenses, believe me.
Why would Maddox need saving?
When the mages rebelled in Kirkwall, the worst battles took place at the gallows in the circle itself. I thought Maddox had died in the fighting, or was eking out a living on the streets. A hard fate for a tranquil in Kirkwall. Samson must have found him, taken him in.
Perhaps there's something left of the man Samson used to be.
Or he's shrewd enough to know an extraordinary resource. It seems Maddox built Samson's armor for him, and maintains it still. Tranquil and Kirkwall needed rare and expensive supplies for their enchantments. Supplies we can trace. I can have our men kick down some doors, Inquisitor. Samson's armor might lead us right to his stronghold.
Oh no. Well, back to the table we go. Don't mind me. I'm just knocking heads and breaking legs. Mostly our legs and our head. But you know what they say. You won't get anywhere without breaking a few eggs. Or legs. Anywho, I hope we don't have to... Do we have to send someone out to do this? We just might. Yeah, unfortunate. Everyone's busy. You have not truly lived until all you have left to sustain yourself in the wild is a cup of noodles and some spam. If you have those two, everything else just seems like a luxury. Alright, let's get rid of some of our materials here and there. And then we'll head back out and complete more of the western approach. Yeah, this ring, well, actually it's not a ring, it's an amulet. It reduces your damage resistance, meaning I think you take more damage. It also blocks one melee attack every 30 seconds. If you die, you have a 75% chance to heal for half health. And you can also resist a lethal strike once every 60 seconds. Who the hell designed this? It feels like there's some sort of joke that I'm not getting. For this year, I have a more limited budget than usual. I think I might just stick with mainly the 4 Nintendo games that are coming out. There's that one Zelda game that's coming out with Zelda as the main playable character. Mario, Mario Party. And what's the other one? Oh, Mario and Luigi. For sure, I'm going to try to get those games, provided my budget is big enough for those 3. And then beyond that, I'm thinking the Veilguard for 1. And then perhaps Life is Strange. Those are the 2 main ones I'm planning on getting. I'll have to talk with my brother and see what we're going to do about Call of Duty. Because he's always playing Call of Duty. He likes the Black Ops series as do I. And I think there's supposed to be a PS4 version on there as well. What typically happens with that is I get the cross-gen bundle. I get the PS5 version. He gets to play the PS4 version. Everyone's happy. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing a couple sessions here and there.
Opportunity, Your Worship. If you've a moment, I would speak to you about a potential partnership.
I've seen some of the gameplay footage of it recently, and it seems kind of crazy. For example, you can, like, jump around more than usual. Because I think you have the option to do like the classic movement system, but then you also get like dolphin diving in like different directions. It makes it seem as if you're playing like a Max Payne game. I don't know how much of it will translate to zombies mode. Or if those kind of movement options will even matter. Hey, what's up, Kaylin? It's going well. We're just relaxing, chilling out,
Good fortune, Inquisitor.
going through more adventures in Dragon Age. Now that we've cleared everything out, let's head back. If this was back in my younger years, I would probably end up getting Assassin's Creed as well. Man, do I miss back when eBay offered those gift cards. I had a whole method and way of getting those gift cards for like next to nothing.
Nothing to report, sir.
Yeah, same here. I have like 2 or 3 different systems. My PS5 for one, my spare PS4 Pro, and my brother's PS4 Pro that's out in the living room. And so just with one console, we can get like games for up to like 3 systems.
What can I do for you?
It almost feels like cheating.
We spotted several dragon signs around the approach.
Most excellent, my friend.
I don't suppose you noted the wound pattern? No matter, I'll look into that later. On Drasti's mercy. From what I can tell, the dragon has been moving east and will be scouring the wastes next. Naturally, the dragon's hunting ground is full of miscreants, White Claw raiders. They've covered the area in traps for Maker only knows reasons. Quite a mess.
One tail feather and one batch of intestines, as requested.
My friend, you are invaluable. I will certainly note your assistance in my monograph on the High Dragon. I will attempt to lure her out as soon as my background research is complete. Mistakes could be deadly. The ancient Tevinters wrote volumes on the study of dragons. I believe they had a laboratory in this desert. If only their work had not been lost. Truly, the Blights set the field of draconology back centuries. Deplorable.
PlayStation will allow you to have one like home system for your PS4 and maybe PS5. I don't know exactly about the PS5 since I don't have multiples of them. But with the PS4, you can set one system to be your main console. With that one, you want to set it to your main console because that way anyone that's using that console can play games while you're offline. So my brother's PS4 in the living room, I have that one set to my main PS4 console. That way he can use those games. But when I'm using my PS4 in my room, I'm always logged in. Therefore, I have access to my games as well. PS5 may also allow that system as well. I have no clue. Someone might want to fact check that for me. But that's how you get around the whole two-console situation.
I found this manuscript on dragons in an ancient Tevinter laboratory. Will it help you?
What remarkable diagrams. Are these chambers of the draconic heart? Oh, if only I could read the script. Do you perhaps know a linguist? Or a Tevinter historian?
I don't, but the Inquisition might. I'll speak to our specialists.
There was a point in time where on the PS3 you were allowed 5 system activations. They reduced that to 2.
We'll have to speak some other time.
I don't know how you guys feel about that. Do you guys think 5 was too many? It kind of feels like it was too many. Imagine sharing your console with up to like 4 different friends. Not just your console, like your account. Because I used to take advantage of that. Not anymore, of course. I see. But yeah, so long as you're using your own account and staying logged in, you can access your content whenever, if you're not on your main console. It's a great workaround if you have like multiple family members. That way you don't have to buy like one disc and then have everyone share it. Because in this way I only have to purchase one digital copy of Call of Duty, And yet both my brother and I get to play it at the same time. There goes that trap. There are a couple different traps around here that I need to search for. That was one. Here's two. Yeah, there's that consideration as well. People like different games. Then again, with the way that things are looking currently, most of the popular games nowadays are free to play anyway. So it likely wouldn't have mattered. You don't need to do this workaround for Fortnite or... I don't know, what else are people playing? Apex? Call of Duty Warzone. You don't need to do any of that for those games. Stuff like even Genshin Impact. It only truly matters if you're interested in, like, paid game. I know, right? When you're paying upwards of $2,000 to $3,000 in rent, hardly anyone's bothering to purchase the newer games. Oh, hey. I'll read that in a moment. Gentlemen, your mistakes are beginning to distress me. I told you to take the equipment and leave the research team alive. Perhaps you don't know the difference between life and death. If you cock this up again, I'll be happy to demonstrate the distinction for you in detail. I believe I mentioned this story once before. But back when eBay used to offer like PSN codes for like digital currency, I used to be able to pick up these digital currency codes for like next to nothing. Because what would happen is that PayPal would offer like a 2-year financing option with 0% interest. And all you had to do was spend $600 or more. Think about that, $600 spread over like 2 years worth of payments is incredibly generous. Service, can you bring the Grey Wardens back? My men are seeing Darkspawn at night. Darkspawn. It's not a blight starting, is it? You'll protect us, right? Yeah, $1,000 worth of rent a month is incredibly cheap. But yeah, that was how my system was for getting games on the cheap when I was still working. $600 spread over like what? 24 months is Not very much at all. And there was no stipulation whether you had to, like, pay it back, like, immediately or anything like that. So long as you were making consistent payments over the 2-year term, you were guaranteed no interest. Which in financing terms is really good. But I think they ended that a while ago because the old account that I used to buy those codes off of is no longer in business. I don't know what happened to them. It feels like just one day they just stopped selling them. It's a real shame too. Well, that and interest rates have gone up in recent years. So if you wanted to take advantage of it, yeah, well, it's too late. The housing costs around my area is blows insane too. I think my sister was like hunting for houses to rent a while ago back. Because when she was living on her own in like a one-room apartment, I think the rent was somewhere around 1,600 or so. I'd have to have her explain it back to me again, but it was definitely expensive. Way more than anyone could probably afford on just one salary alone. But she eventually found a roommate and got her living costs, the rent down to like somewhere around 800 to 900 or so. Granted, she lives in a bigger city, so the costs are definitely higher than over here. Meanwhile, we're paying rent. Well, not really rent. We're paying the mortgage on like a 30-year fixed interest loan. And pretty much our costs are about, I would say it's about 1,000 in mortgage costs, but then that's not including electricity and electricity and utilities like garbage and water. Our electricity bill alone costs somewhere around, I think, $300 or $300 to $400. Mostly because we've been using the AC so much. Now, where the heck is this? I'm trying to find this trap here. And it's located in a spot that I don't know where. Oh, never mind. I think I see it now. Garbage and water is somewhere around like 150 for us.
Whoever said that is going to come looking.
Oh, there they are. Running forward like idiots. But yeah, no matter how you cut it, $800 to $900 is relatively affordable. Compared to where things are now, I don't think I could afford to move out on my own. And that sucks. Let's go back to Frederick now. Yeah, 2-bedroom at that price is insane. Over here, that wouldn't even cover the cost for like a 1-bedroom studio apartment. And I don't live in like a highly developed area either.
After more than 30 days, I have yet to observe the abyssal high dragon in... Oh, yes? Can I assist you?
But it's getting there. A lot of the Bay Area people have been moving around this general area because it's so easy to commute between there and here. I only live around like 2 to 2.5 hours away from the Bay Area, from San Francisco.
The raiders are no longer in the way.
I've made note of the appropriate spots in the wastes for you to place lures. I must locate my supplies to create the bait. Then we can proceed.
So it's likely, like I've noticed over the past couple of years, like a lot of Bay Area transplants have moved around this general area. Hey, think of it as a blessing. What with the the war going on around over there.
We'll have to speak some other time.
If it was maybe over 15 years ago, that wouldn't be too bad, but in the last 10 years, probably not. Alright, we gotta keep doing some more things. Still, I would have liked to visit Russia. Probably not now. But man, would have been nice. Okay, Vargas. We need to kill Vargas. That's probably one. This thing looks ugly as hell. It's sort of like a cross between a pig yeah, probably. So maybe I could blend in if it's in the Far East. Well, that's another Vargas down. I think we gotta head up over on our left side. These dang slopes. We have to take the long way around if we want to travel back. Also, remember this area where it was full of sulfur? We can finally head in. I would have liked to check out St. Petersburg. There are also a number of other things off of the top of my head, but I can't remember. Alright, I guess we're done with this right here. Say farewell to all the Vargas over here. How's our quest log looking? Don't mind these. Darkspawn. Let's head back over here. We'll tackle this and then we'll head down. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Let me just walk over there. Speaking of mobs, I mentioned this before, but I used to be friends with people from Germany. And they had always mentioned to me how you had to be careful even in around like East Germany, because some of the Russians there, quote unquote, were part of the mob. How true is it? I don't know. I've never been there. I've never had their experiences. Alright, there's a cave over here we can explore. Yeah, I remember that term. But I'm afraid the most my German understanding is it goes as far as go to the corner. That's all I know. Yeah, I know, right? It's chicken. That's not a phoenix. The thing in the dark. This statue is oddly warm to the touch and shivers slightly, as though it might have a pulse. Buddha would be proud. I mean, it sort of looks like a Buddha statue. If Buddha was yawning or wishing for sweet release from this agony. I don't know, you tell me. What does this look like? I've already had family members that have been to Mexico. Granted, mostly in the touristy areas like Cancun and Puerto Vallarta. They say it's all right. And I've also had like other friends that have been to the area as well. Yeah, you shouldn't have any trouble in the touristy areas. It's probably areas outside of the tourist sections that will be kind of contentious. They went to Cuba and got locked up. Yeah, that would sour anyone's perception of that place. Didn't we do this one already? Yeah, we did this one. Can I jump down from here? Yes, I can. Alright, so let's drop a barrier. And no, I can't jump down. Lame.
Inquisitor.
All right, recruits. Who can tell me? What are the chief weapons of the Inquisition?
Where's your other stuff? The things you had yesterday?
That kind of makes sense why everyone spoke English, though. It's probably due to all the tourists and the fact that they want to make money off of them. Which isn't a bad thing. They show us a fun time. We reward them by paying for their living. Win-win, right? There's a cave around the back that we need to check out. What'd you have over there? Alright, inside here, I think we can plug up the leak. Or there's got to be something. This ancient cistern stinks like rotting meat. On the other hand, there's serpents down here. Let's grab those. That's all there is to do down here. We have to keep pushing our way north. I think I remember those news stories about the North Dakota pipeline protests. Those were some crazy times back in like 2016. If that's the right time frame, or same protest, I think. Alright, there's nothing else around over here. Let's swing past the dust plains and head up over here. Yeah, it sounds like you had a good time there, Seth. One of these days, I hope to make the trip out there to myself. If anything, it would be a great vacation destination. I think we're a little too far north. This field is inaccessible. Don't even bother trying to go out there. Gotcha, Storm. Oh no. This is another operation that we need to complete.
We have to turn back.
The Darkspawn got through. I'll have to see what our people at Skyhold can do.
The noxious sulfur pits. By the way, if you guys have never smelled... Yeah, if you've never smelled sulfur before, it truly smells like rotten eggs. It's pretty gross. Oh, did you go to the eastern side of the country? Because I think if you go on the western side, the beaches there are pretty cool. Similar to how the water is in the Pacific. Well, not just the Pacific, but the water around over here on our side. But yeah, if you're on the western side, you'll... Oh, you must have gone to the eastern side of the country where the Caribbean was. Because I've heard that if you go to the western side of the country and take a dip in the Pacific Ocean, it's about as chill as over here on up north. Alright, we have now completed that section. I guess the only way to get up over here is through this area. We're still waiting on our advisors to come back.
Inquisitor.
This map here is a little confusing. It wraps around in a circle. And in order to move past this section, we need to go through this gate. If I had the money, I would take a trip out to Thailand. I think my grandparents are due to take a trip of their own pretty soon. But again, I haven't got my passport. I don't know if I could get it done in time, in the time frame that they're wanting to go. There it is. How do we get up there? What the hell? There has to be some way we can climb this. Because if I go over here and take a look up... Oh, never mind. We can skip up here. Oh, come on. I'm so close. Work with us. It's like right there. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. There's a ladder right over on this side. I think it was just last year that my parents took their own trip out to Thailand. They were there for almost a month. Unfortunately, though, I don't think I'll be able to do that. With work starting up in a couple weeks, I got my 90-day probation period. Don't think I'll be able to sacrifice that. Let me backtrack over there, grab that, come back over here, grab that. Probation periods are always the worst. That's when everyone expects you to be at the top of your game. But you don't want to go too hard off the first couple days because then they're going to expect that every single day going forward. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, that's cool, Storm. Thanks for informing us what warriors are. Sliding down the ladder certainly help. Alright, if I can finish off a good portion tonight, the next time when we come back to this game, we can finally get started on the main story stuff. And that stuff is going to get juicy. You don't want to miss out on the story development. I mean, would you believe that you're supposed to take care of these as you're playing through the game? You're not really supposed to front load this like I have. Jeez, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine doing something like that.
No good. We'll have to find another way.
There's no way in. How are we going to get in through here? It might be story related. Or perhaps we're meant to go through this area. Or perhaps even over here. Let's go back and check out our war table. It appears to me that this section is it's conditioning you to go back and check on the war table in order to progress certain quest lines.
Your worship.
Which is neat to a certain extent. It gets somewhat tedious when we have to come back here every so often just to be able to progress in the main campaign. This requires nothing. Same thing here. Inquisitor. Our soldiers in the western approach located a suitable freshwater source. They faced some resistance from a particularly aggressive wyvern, but were able to subdue the threat and secure the area. I'm told that Lieutenant Core in particular should be commended for his quick response. As you can imagine, their success had raised morale among our followers in the western approach. Oh hey, the books have arrived. Along with a periodical from Val Royeaux. In case you don't know what a periodical is, it's a newspaper. It was unexpected but sparked some interest. Diversions are few and it's good to know there's still a world out there. Send our regards to the Lady Ambassador. Well, you don't know what you're missing until you find yourself needing some reading material. Like in Breaking Bad when when Hank found out who Heisenberg was when he went to take a crap. Anyway, finding the source of the Darkspawn. Commander Cullen, we have scattered reports of Darkspawn in the area, but it has been difficult to track down their point of origin. They're less hampered by the sulfur pits than we are, and our guess is that they're coming from somewhere on the far side. Our troops can bridge the pits, which should allow us to cross safely and find the location of the Darkspawn. But we will need significant resources to ensure the safety of the men while construction is underway. I await your orders, sir. Building a bridge in that blasted area will be ugly work, but I can deploy enough troops to ensure that it is done safely. Yeah, 2 a.m. already, huh? My, how time flies. Commander Cullen, thanks to the reinforcements you sent, we constructed the bridge safely with minimal losses and fortified it in the event that Darkspawn tried to use it themselves. The Darkspawn are coming from ruins that appear to be Tevinter. Per your orders, I am restricting the troops to scouting and guard patrols until the ruins can be investigated. And there's our cue to enter those ruins. Translating the dragon text. Ambassador Montelier. I have been considering your last letter, and as I do owe you a debt of gratitude for handling the Cumberland incident, I think I've found something that may solve your mystery. I have an acquaintance in Monrathis who has a brother in that circle's College of Antiquities. A few favors, and he may be able to translate your ancient text. But I should warn you, they are likely to be costly favors. Still, this may be your most promising avenue. Yours sincerely, Baron Maxwell Van Saran. A favor for a friend of a friend can get the manuscript translated by an expert. Esteemed Ambassador Montelier, enclosed you will find the completed translation of your fascinating manuscript, which our scholars estimate to predate the First Blight. The dialect caused quite a stir in historical linguistics. The College of Antiquities would be most interested in further cooperation with the Inquisition should you uncover more Tavine documents from the pre-Blight era. Thank you for that. Alright, before we move on, let's complete What's-His-Face's quest. Using Maddox as a lead, Cullen has begun to hunt down anyone providing equipment and supplies that Maddox might need for Samson's armor. Lyrium reagents, dwarven tools, and so on. Cullen is arranging patrols along roads and bridges for any sign of Samson's forces trading and moving equipment. Let's have those patrols leave right away. They'll lead us to the headquarters.
Inquisitor.
10 minutes, huh? Ah, crap. Do all these require Cullen's... No, never mind. It's because we don't have any other advisors available. Wait a minute. I only see 2 assigned. Do all of these require Cullen? Apparently. I think those will finally allow us to kill the dragon. How does our Inquisitor have the time to move from Skyhold down to the western approach? This is a long ways away. Which brings me to another point. Back in the first Dragon Age game, depending on the order that you pursue certain quests, you had like this hidden time mechanic where the Blight and the Darkspawn Horde would spread out and conquer different territories. And if you didn't do like a certain quest in a period of time, you would be locked out because then you'd have an in-game explanation for why that place is inaccessible. It was a cool mechanic to be sure.
Of course, Duran's theory of high dragon behavior is absurd, but... Oh, yes? Did you need something?
My people have translated that to Vinter manuscript.
Studies on dragon hunting patterns? Migrations? Ha! Duran's theory that dragons can't see the color blue is refuted. With those dreadful raiders out of the way, we can finally lure out the abyssal high dragon. You should have the honor, my friend. I've made note of the appropriate spots in the wastes for you to place lures. Place this bait, and then wait. It will be a momentous achievement in draconology.
I'm off to plant the bait for the High Dragon.
I cannot wait to hear your observations. You must make note of how she circles the hunting area.
We'll have to speak some other time.
Oh, wait. This is one of the easier dragons we'll get to kill. Let me throw in someone else. Someone we should have thrown in from the very beginning. I can't believe I ever forgot about this. And it's all the way at the very end, too.
Nothing to report, sir.
And yes, we're gonna use this big old dude. I wish we got to see more of him. Horn of Valor now grants guard to your allies each time they deal damage, or this one seems kind of broken. Let's throw that on. And then... oh wait. He's supposed to be a two-hander. That'll be fine. I think we'll survive. This you'll get to see. Yeah, I've got to see the kinds of reaction that Iron Bull has when he fights a dragon. Too bad there are no other dragons for us to see. I don't think he even has a reaction when you go off in the DLC to fight that one other dragon god. But who knows? Maybe he does. We cleaned off this bait the first time around. Now we're reusing them. Alrighty. Feast your eyes on this.
Boss, I want you to know, you're the best.
Where's that dragon? There it is.
Today is a good day. Today is a very good day.
And yeah, it's because of that you should always bring the Iron Bull when you fight dragons. Oh no. It's immune to some of our spells. And what the hell? He takes less damage than I thought he was going to. Come on, Iron Bull. don't die on us. It's probably because of equipment. He doesn't have the sort of tankiness that Blackwall does. Get back over here. Don't move too far, please. Okay, that's another mistake. Blizzard doesn't do anything. And I'm afraid the fire mines don't do anything either. It's almost dead though. Please don't kill Iron Bull. Sweet. That's another dragon down. And it's the final dragon of the base game. Alright. Oh, what about Concord? I'm afraid I didn't check out the news. We are done over here. No need to worry about the dragon any longer.
Nothing to report, sir.
Now, having slain the dragon, we can pick up Frederick as an agent for the Inquisition.
Oh, my fellow researcher. What can I do for you?
A high dragon attacked me when I planted the bait. I'm afraid it's dead.
She attacked? How wonderful! You had a first-hand view of her behavior. Did you take any notes on her aggressive posturing? I suppose you wouldn't have. No matter. I should very much like to interview you. At a later time, of course. I could join your Inquisition. My expertise could be of use, and your scouts could help me find other specimens.
I don't see why not. Join us, please.
Certainly. I'm sure the Inquisition could use a draconologist.
Excellent. I'm sure my research will be of great use to you.
He would have been helpful earlier in the game.
Can I help you?
Are there any other notable dragons you've heard about?
There's supposed to be a smaller cousin of the Abyssal High Dragon roosting somewhere near here. A sandy howler, I believe. I heard rumors of a Vindsummer being spotted taking prey off the Storm Coast. Lovely dragons, remarkably aggressive. Jeannette sighted a Gomordan Storm Rider hunting in the Dales before. Well, it was her discovery. And I believe a Ferelden Frostback has claimed a measure of the hinterlands as her territory. There may be others, but no word of them has reached me.
Probably because we killed them all. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, we should also check in on Cullen. Let's do that. Yeah, it's disappointing to hear that game isn't doing very well. The world's a lot different than 2016 when Overwatch first came out. Expectations have shifted.
Inquisitor?
And not everyone wants to play a hero shooter any longer. You know, come to think of it, I think Overwatch is still the only best and remaining example of a hero shooter. All of the other ones like Battleborn have since, you know, they've lost support and just shuttered down completely. Inquisitor, we track Samson's remaining Red Templars escorting a supply caravan to a hidden location in the wilderness. It could be his headquarters. I expect verification before the hour is over. I've already begun preparing a squadron of soldiers to accompany us. Allow me to debrief you in person when your duties permit. Okay. The dragon that Corypheus controls looks like an archdemon, but is something else entirely. To defeat his threat, the Inquisition must know all it can about dragons. Frederick of Seralt, the self-styled researcher of dragons, may be of some help. However, no one knows when Corypheus may attack next. Frederick and the Inquisition should focus on one area of research first. What is that area of research? Let's see here. I know the term archdemon gets thrown out a lot. And if you haven't played the first game, it's kind of confusing why they call a dragon an archdemon. But just know that it's supposed to be like a god that was corrupted by the Darkspawn's taint. Basically, it's a zombie dragon god. And there's still 2 more left in the overarching plot of Dragon Age. The rewards are all the same. Alright then. The only difference here is just the in-game text. Didn't you recently discover a dragon nesting ground? Frederick might be able to learn something from it. Get him to lead a research expedition. I can supply an entourage of soldiers to protect them. Or we can just dissect one. I mean, take your pick. Research the breeding grounds or kill one and then dissect it. Or we can just do research like normal people. You know what? Let's go breed dragons. Cullen takes the least amount of time anyway.
Inquisitor.
But crap. That also means we can't do these other ones too. Why, Cullen? Why must you be so important? Again, we're gonna take another detour and go find Cullen. But not before I do some more research. There we go.
Did you need something?
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.
I don't think Leliana's companion stuff comes up until after we've hit the second half of the game. Same thing goes for Blackwall and Cole.
What have you found?
We have him, Inquisitor. We found Samson's lair. My duties usually keep me here, but for Samson, I'll make an exception.
I'm looking forward to fighting by your side, Commander.
Likewise, Inquisitor. We'll depart at your leave.
Let's go find him. Samson is using the bodies of people to grow red lyrium, and possesses powerful armor crafted from the crystals. Though Samson's armor seems impenetrable, there must be some way to weaken him. He is at the Shrine of Dumat. Cullen is not playable. Instead, he'll just tag along. I think he'll just be another NPC.
This is it. The heart of Samson's command.
I don't see him anywhere. Or hear him.
Nor I. Maker, tell me he hasn't fled.
Cullen has been around since the first game. And throughout that time, he has never been playable. Though he is tied pretty closely to the plot lines of the first game and the second time. I mean the second game. And even in this game as well. Kind of makes me think he'll be retired for the third game. But who knows? I'd be kind of sad if they didn't bring him back for another game as well. Fingers crossed we'll see even more returning characters. So far, there's only one guaranteed character from the very first game, and that's someone that we're going to meet later in the story. Varric has only been around since the second game. He doesn't count. I don't see Leliana. She hasn't been revealed in any of the trailers yet. Harding was introduced in this game, and she's going to become a new ally in Dragon Age: The Veilguard. That inclusion, I think, should satisfy everyone. She's like a minor character here, but everyone loves her. The fandom, anyway.
This place is already half destroyed.
Samson must have ordered his headquarters, so we couldn't.
Let me make sure everyone's healed up before we take that supply cache.
Someone tipped off Samson.
You were
Do you really think so? I mean, we've killed off, like, nameless enemies. Where the heck is Maddox? I think because they have the option to die in this game, they won't be making an appearance. They're not in any of the trailers I've seen. Supposedly, the Inquisitor will be making a return. Our main playable character here can be recreated in the next sequel. I wonder if there's like a default option. Because trying to recreate my original Inquisitor is going to take some work. We gotta get the face correct, we gotta get the hair right. It's way more than just getting the decisions right. But we'll try our best with whatever tools we're given. Alright, everyone's dead, I think. Let's push through the final door.
Hello, Inquisitor.
You know me?
It's Maddox, Samson's Tranquil. Something's wrong. I'll send for the healers.
That would be a waste, Knight Captain Cullen. I drank my entire supply of Blightcap essence. It won't be long now.
We only wanted to ask you questions, Maddox.
Yes. That is what I could not allow. I destroyed the camp with fire. We all agreed it was best. Our deaths ensured Samson had time to escape.
You threw your lives away? For Samson? Why?
Samson saved me even before he needed me. He gave me purpose again. I wanted to help.
We should check the camp. Maddox may have missed something.
Let's look around.
That poor guy. There are multiple things here.
Lyrium bottles, licked clean.
Drinking it, wearing it, growing it. You can't say Samson isn't committed.
How much red lyrium is Samson taking? His resistance must be extraordinary.
Well, he's got that armor on.
Samson left a message. For me.
What does it say?
Drink enough lyrium and its song reveals the truth. The chantry used does, you're fighting the wrong battle. Corypheus chose me as his general and his vessel of power. Now there's such nonsense. As if I would sympathize.
Who knows? They use a lot of different names. You got characters named Fenril. I mean, not Fenril. Merrill and Fenris. I kind of botched those names together.
This must have been Maddox's room.
The fire couldn't destroy these entirely, whatever they are.
They are implements for working lyrium safely. Craftsmanship is remarkable.
Tranquil often design their own tools. Agnes should be able to make sense of them. Maddox used these to make Samson's armor. She could use them to unmake it. We have him. Dismal place to die. Can't have been much of a place to live either under Samson's command.
Dude, Cullen, you're standing in flames.
What else do you remember about Samson? The man he used to be.
Does it matter? He used to be kind, but only carries so far. If Maddox died to help him escape, Samson does command loyalty.
Is there anything in the camp that could help? Or point us to Samson?
It's hard to tell. All I see is smoke and ash. This is Samson's idea of remaking the world. I prefer yours.
You can't leave Maddox here. He should be properly laid to rest.
I'll have someone take care of it. If even Samson did his best for Maddox, we can do no less.
I'll keep looking around.
From this angle, Cullen looks like the very devil himself. Anyway, I think we can head out. Yeah, let's leave. Back to Skyhold we go. Got about 15 more minutes. Maybe give or take half an hour afterwards. Nah, never mind. I'm going to end the session at midnight. I'm afraid we won't be able to play longer. But I don't have anything going on tomorrow. So maybe we'll jump back on around 1 p.m. in the afternoon or something. And then hopefully we can start tackling the story quests.
The Red Lyrium deposits are being destroyed, and we've cut the Red Templars down to the core. It's a pity Maddox thought his sacrifice was the only answer. But that leaves Samson with a severely curtailed army, and enchanted armor he can't maintain. You did it.
We both fought to make this happen. Don't sell yourself short.
Well, thank you. But my work's not done yet. We're getting recruits by the hour. There's more than a few ex-Templars among them. We've struck a blow and given people hope. This is a true victory.
Inquisitor, I finished it. Are you talking? Sorry. Have it anyhow.
You mean this rune?
It's not just any rune. I made it with red lyrium and what's left of poor Maddox's tools. The rune acts on the median fissures of lyrium to... It'll destroy Samson's armor. He'll be powerless.
We'll cut Corypheus off from his most powerful officer.
Maddox covered Samson's tracks thoroughly. But wherever Samson's retreated, we'll find him. Your army stands ready, Inquisitor. For Samson, for Corypheus, for whatever you command.
Well, hooray. We are done with this quest line.
Was there something you needed?
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
I think we'll have more opportunities to talk to Cullen in the future. For now, consider his quest line completed. Alright, back to it. The bottom half is now over and done with. Now to see about this. Well, this is going to be fun. There's only one more half to finish. I can't wait. Through all of our hard work, we have cleared out most of the enemies in this area.
What do you think happens if you get the red lyrium? Would you know before?
You know, for all the evils that red lyrium has done. Why are we using a rune made of red lyrium? Now, before we couldn't cross this area.
Don't worry, Your Worship. We'll hold the bridge against anything.
No darkspawn is coming through here.
Now we can go right over the top. Also, an unexpected benefit. We don't have to fight the enemies that are down there. Oh no. Even more shards to collect. Where's the last one over here? We'll come back to those. Right now, let's deal with those darkspawn. That's one group down. With more to go. It's real fortunate that we're playing as the mage here. I find playing as a warrior has a steeper learning curve. There's a lot more than meets the eye when it comes to tanking. Generally, as a warrior, you just want to tank and let your allies do all the hard work. It's a little counterintuitive. You would think with a warrior you would be up on everyone's faces, doing all the damage, that sort of thing, right? Truth is, You're the one that's supposed to be the wall, drawing damage away from everyone. You're not the one that's, like, trying to kill everything. That's where your rogues come in. Or if you don't have any of those, your mages can also do the trick as well. Here's another astrarium. As much as I enjoy geometry, this is very tedious to complete. And I did this one wrong. There we go. Ah, crap. I didn't realize there was another line there. Alright. This one might do the trick. There we go. Looks kind of like the fox from The Simpsons in that one episode where Homer has a spirit vision. Called White Wolf in common parlance, Fenrir has always been considered an oddity. Fenrir is also related to Fen'Harel, the Dread Wolf. We'll learn more about who Fen'Harel is later on. Don't worry too much about that. Oh no. This leads to another side area. Yeah, the warrior does have an ability that's similar to Rampart Aura. He can create a wall between your allies and him.
Stay on guard.
And I think it's probably... It's this move, line in the sand. You'll hold your position, and this prevents enemies from moving past you, and it enables you to block choke points. So if you have like a doorway and you want to prevent enemies from getting past you, you can do that. In that case, you should probably be using mages. Oh man, this area is wide and there's lots to explore and check out. Come on, friends, help us out. What happened to all of our partners?
Like the Darkspawn are nesting here.
This can't be all of them. There must be more further in.
What's going on with the face textures there? We're gonna explore every inch of this place. It looks like it leads in a circle. So far, anyway.
We need to seal that tunnel.
This tunnel, you mean?
Tunnel was open from the outside. Someone was digging here.
Gee, I wonder who. Let's find out. Oh wait, never mind. I'm gonna swing back the other way around. This seems like the right path to head towards. I just want to check out the other side. I feel like this game would benefit more if some of the enemies would provide some audio cues. The Darkspawn don't say anything. They don't scream. They don't have any emotions. They don't even growl. I don't think that was true in the first game. They were certainly more monstrous. The giants are half feral. There's no room for a weak hand. One is enough to move debris during excavation, but keep it under control. We don't need the whole building coming down.
Using giants as beasts of burden. It's mad.
Can you imagine trying to keep it watered out here?
They're enslaving giants. Smart. Despite widespread illiteracy, Tevinter slaves have developed a series of small pictograms that they scrawl on walls or under furniture hidden from their uncaring owners. Regional variations make deciphering them a unique challenge. In one city, the sign of a clenched fist means a murderous master. In another, the same symbol indicates a harsh slave owner, but not one with a fatal temper. The ruling class's general indifference to the moods and fears of their slaves make this pictorial argot an important method of communication. It is therefore all the more strange so many Tevinter comedies center around farcical misunderstanding of a sloppily written sigil, where witty slaves scramble to subvert blame in time to avoid beheading. Perhaps it comforts Tevinter's well-to-do to believe that their property is only this clever and human in fiction. Remember when we were exploring the Emerald Graves and there were pictures written or drawn all over the place? I think that's what it's referring to. They're just communicating somehow. Alright, there should be some sort of rune around here. Gotta check all these walls. While I'm looking and checking, there's gotta be some here around here, right? There it is. Grab that one to upgrade your spirit rune schematic. Now we can head around the other side. Alright, it's well past midnight. Tell you guys what, we're going to finish this dungeon and we're going to call it a night after that. Then we'll come back around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And then we'll see how far we can get. I think we should finish Here Lies the Abyss. And then maybe we'll play some other games like Stardew Valley. The faded ink of this parchment suggests it is from a prison's records. Let none be so foolish as to deny the power born of affection. Mark my words, for death would only bear a martyr. Persuade Talvis to speak the truth. Permit that honey tongue to undo its own mischief. They think to question the Archon's authority, to deny his reach. Will they do so once their beloved Iunia? I don't know. Sings the magistrate's praises. Should Talvis prove unreasonable, remove her teeth. One wonders how much charm she will wield without a handsome smile. Ouch. A missing slave. In Tevinter, a slave is invisible, even though the entire empire rests on our backs. Our hands built the walls of Minrathis and carry its wealth along the crumbling roads. Scribes like myself take dictation and write letters that shift the balance of power. My daughter, Leonora, a kitchen slave, works night and day so Magister Delphine isn't troubled by a torn robe or a cold supper. Normally, I meet Leonora about the kitchens, but it has been days since our paths crossed. No one has seen her. I can't help but think of the old stories that cross slave markets like lightning. How, centuries ago, the ancients built their cities with blood magic, raising the very towers and walls with terrible rituals, using our lives as fuel. Thousands of slaves were sacrificed as we were forced onto the altars of the old gods. Magister Delphine's perfect marble-faced mansion likely stands on the back of 100 voiceless elves. No wonder why the elves hate the humans. But that was a different time. Andraste's words against blood magic made the practice all but forbidden and shunned. Though we may be punished, few slaves are dragged to the altar or milked of blood, without at least some reprimand. Yet Leonora is missing, and Magister Delphine seems different. She carries an aura she had never had before, and rumors fly that a bitter rival has been publicly humiliated in a duel of magic. Through my grief, I fear I know that my Leonora's life was a price. I ache to speak as an equal with Magister Delphine, to demand answers. But such an audience would be a joke to her. No one sees a slave. Elven slaves have not been prominent since the first game. Alright, Storm. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. Or morning. And in case I don't see you later, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. There go all the darkspawn. Now, as much as I enjoy the writing in Dragon Age, there's always been like a huge amount of time in between games, to the point where the original writers for the game have all but left the series. So characters don't really seem to have somewhat of a cohesive or coherent origin or even motivation. And that's really disappointing. What you essentially end up with is 3 different variations of one character. And somehow you're supposed to believe that they're all the same one.
Here, let me try.
Alright. As he's working to unlock that, what's going on in here? There's an ancient list of prisoners. There's one who got in trouble for public indecency. Yeah, no, we gotta punish that, right? Alright, we found everything here. Where does that lead us?
What was that?
Something shaking. And I don't think it's anything good. There was nothing to indicate this place was built over an old Deep Roads entrance. While the complications with Darkspawn were unfortunate, we've dealt with the pack that emerged, and I will hear no further talk of it. We have enough to secure the South Dig site. You will continue work in the corridors, and you will do so without complaint. Alternatively, we could use you as a distraction should more Darkspawn hinder our efforts. You will serve Corypheus either way.
Venatori. They've been excavating. I take it breaking into Darkspawn tunnels wasn't part of the plan.
If their plan is to be a thorn in our side, they're doing just fine.
Well, I mean, sorta. They're kinda easy to kill.
That's not what I wanted to see.
The world can't be all rainbows and unicorns, Blackwall. By the way, I think unicorns exist in this game.
Not exactly the fight I was expecting when we got here. At least we got the job done.
The men here were laborers. Someone must have been coordinating their efforts. I doubt they stuck around to fend off Darkspawn.
This place looks really cool. And yet it's like a throwaway dungeon. It's not tied to the overall story. But what the hell is this thing? I'm thinking big guy over there ate it. Took a massive bite out of it. Yeah, this game always has some interesting moments to see. This will take us through to the other side that we haven't been able to get into. Remember this region? And how there was a gate over here and over here that were locked? This is how you get in. And yet... You know what? Tell you what. This is where we're going to finish. And we'll pick it back up tomorrow. Or today. Alright. If you're currently watching this on YouTube, please like the video. Any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Let me know what you guys think of our playthrough so far. We are nearing around the 30 to 40% completion mark. Or it could be even higher than that because we've cleared out a ton of the side quests. Share this video out wherever you guys can, and also make sure to subscribe. If you've missed out on any of our previous play sessions, make sure to hit up our playlist, or check out our channel for more content. If you're over on Twitter, follow us at twitter.com/LunarlightGames. Over there you'll find deals, discounts, as well as news stories about the gaming world. Check out our pinned post. Check out all that fun stuff. If you'd like to help sponsor our channel, you can do so by leaving us a tip in our tip jar at paypal.me/LunarlightGames. You know, maybe drop us a coffee or something. No worries though. If you don't have $1 to tip us, don't worry about it. It's not needed. You guys can help us out by just simply watching our content, and also stay subscribed. Follow us over at twitch.tv/LunarlightGames, and also hit the notification bell across all of our platforms to get updates as soon as they're made available, or to catch whenever we go live. That's going to be all for tonight. We will be back again later this day since it's past midnight, and we will be running through more Dragon Age, as well as some other games I have on hand. For now, take care. Have a great start to your weekend, and have a great night. We will see you next time.